This is the Relentless Podcast. My name is Christine. I'm a small business owner and student of success. I have become obsessed with talking with other entrepreneurs about their strategies, struggles, tactics, and routines. One of the key qualities that all of these individuals have in common, their ability to be relentless. Hey guys, welcome back to the Relentless Podcast. I just wrapped up an interview with Jessica Lahr. She is the owner of Empower Beauty Spa in Geneva. They have so many fabulous treatments. If you haven't checked them out, you definitely should. But her and I talk about so much more than just beauty today. We do talk about the services they offer, and more importantly, the stigma that's kind of been lifted from the beauty industry. And we talk things like Botox and injectables and skincare, all of those things. But we also just get into the nitty-gritty of running your own business, having employees. She's married to an entrepreneur. And so we just talk about all of the ups and downs of that and balancing it all. And are we balancing it all? Listen and find out. I'm so excited. I feel like we have been trying to set this up for a year now, but I am so excited to welcome Jessica Lahr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We are here. This is like the late night episode. I love it.
That's my life lately.
I know. Yeah. Just, hey, you do it when you can. I'm so grateful that you are here. So for people who don't know who you are and are living under a rock, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Jessica Lahr. I live in Geneva, New York. I've been in Geneva for about 18 years now. My husband is a local business owner. I'm a business owner, so we have resided there. He's born and raised in Geneva. We have 2 teenage boys. Crazy. One's driving now.
I saw that. Oh my gosh.
Gosh, it's insane. But yeah, and I own a spa in Geneva, a facial spa. It's called Empower Skin and Scalp Spa. So we do all types of facial treatments, beauty treatments, aesthetic, medical injections, and we do offer 3 different skincare lines, and it's amazing. It's my happy place. It really is.
Well, and I know that this is a somewhat new venture for you, but I feel like you've done it forever. I don't know why. It's so suited to you, and just, I mean, you're just like you radiate beauty all the time. So it just is so fitting. But so I know you have a history in pageants, but so what was it that kind of led you to this?
So pageants, just to go back to that was not a world I grew up in. I'd never even seen a pageant.
Yeah.
I knew they existed, but I mean, I think we had 3 channels where I grew up.
Yeah.
And, I didn't watch pageants. So when I did that was terrifying. I said no at first.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I didn't expect to win and go on, but I really got to see the beautiful side of beauty.
Yeah.
I think pageant girls get such a bad rap, and I think that really they're making such positive changes in their communities, and they're empowering one another. And so I was so inspired by that. But for me, I was just terrified. And so I hired a hair and makeup artist, and she was like my hype girl, and I needed that because I was so scared. And afterwards, I thought, gosh, this is amazing. I want to do this for people. That was I needed her. I needed that person.
Yeah.
And I kind of just took it. I don't know. I came full circle because I did go to cosmetology school. I've always been in love with makeup and everything. Yeah. But it came full circle, and I just started pursuing it. I wanted to get on the other side of the brush a little bit more. And so I fell into makeup artistry pretty naturally, and just fell in love with it, and did a lot of weddings, and then came into pageants. But I really wanted to understand the science of skin. And I had so many clients asking me about their skin and all these questions. And I thought, gosh, I'm not an esthetician. I'm a makeup artist.
Yeah.
I wish I could help you, but I can't.
Right.
I only know what I know from personal experience. And so I went back to school and got my aesthetics license. And that I just fell in love.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the science of skin, ingredients, technology. I mean, it's just going so far right now. It's amazing.
It's exploding.
Yeah, it's huge. And I didn't when I became an esthetician, it wasn't what it is now. As far as, I mean, you see like all, everyone doing their skincare routines on Instagram and TikTok and all the things, and it wasn't like that then.
No.
So I'm excited that everyone else is hyped about skincare and taking care of their skin too.
Yeah.
And so I went into medical aesthetics. I worked at a medical spa in Rochester, Pittsburgh, for almost 4 years. And then a space in Geneva opened up. And my husband, go-getter that he is.
The entrepreneur.
Jess, you have to look at this space.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness gracious, where is it? And he told me where it was. And I thought, oh no.
You're like, it's perfect.
I love that space. He's like, let's just go look at it. And because I was like, I'm not ready to be a business owner. I'm just not ready to take that on yet. I've seen him. I've supported him through all the things that he's done. Didn't know I was ready for it. And so I went to the space and I just felt it. It was so right. And devastated to leave my coworkers and my clients.
Sure.
You get so close with people working in such a small space with people. And so it was like lots of crying, lots of tears, goodbyes. But ultimately, we renovated the space. It's exactly what I wanted.
Stunning. Yeah.
So, and I went in, I jumped in, both feet, and here we are. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think one thing I can tell you is I don't think you're ever ready to be a business owner. And if you think you are, you're so wrong and you're in for a rude awakening, right? But it is amazing. And I do feel like we are in like this renaissance of skin and aesthetics. And, I love that the last few years, this kind of stigma that had been attached to it when I was growing up, like, oh, those people in California that do like filler and oh my God, it's creepy and like all these things, like that's been lifted. And I mean, I've talked about it on here. I've gotten Botox before. I've come to you and gotten the most amazing hydrofacial.
Oh, thank you.
And again, I feel like skincare and beauty has become part of people's wellness routine. It's not this like hush hush thing. It's like, where do you go? What treatments do you do? People want to know. And I think, I don't think it's social media culture. I think it's just nice that everybody has this exposure to information of like, if you're not happy with something, you can change that. Like there are places, local places that you can go. And I just think that that's so exciting and what a great time for you to get into the industry.
I know. Crazy. It really is. And I think that you're spot on. I mean, I remember even when I started as an esthetician, it was still very hush hush. And we still have people that are like, I'm paying in cash.
Yeah.
And I don't email me any receipts. Like, I don't want any. But it's rare, really.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid to ask people, can I take your picture? Can I take your before and after? Because it is, I feel like so personal and I don't want anyone to feel pressured.
Yeah.
But people don't care. It used to be like, I don't want anyone knowing I'm getting Botox.
I know.
Sport or anything.
Yeah.
And now we're not, there's no gatekeeping happening.
Right. Well, and it's so crazy too, because I mean, obviously there's such pressure to be, to have flawless skin and you can't see your pores and oh my gosh, no wrinkles, like, oh my gosh, old women, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, but that doesn't just happen. Right. Like that's the fantasy is that just comes, naturally. I mean, you have to work on it just like you work on, what you eat, your diet, your exercise, all of those things kind of correlate together. So, it's really refreshing. And yeah, I mean, and you mentioned your husband. So he is got the entrepreneurial bug big time. So he's had many successful business ventures. He owns Community Proud Apparel. And so they have exploded as well. Yes. So tell us a little bit about what it's like supporting that journey.
Well, so he opened, I think it's been about 7 years now, Community Proud. And he really is. He is superhuman, that man. He was working full time and he was for a company and he was traveling. But he always knew that he wanted to do something for himself and he'd have little side things here and there. But he wanted like full time, his own business. And, he's providing for the family. At that time, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I was a stay-at-home mom. So we bought a heat press and started, pressing shirts in our spare bedroom on the other side of our son's wall, like all night long while he was sleeping. And it started like growing and growing and growing. And he said, I'll never forget when he was like, I'm going to leave my job. I think I need to like jump in.
Yeah.
Like I just need to do it.
Yep.
And I thought, oh my gosh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And so he had a small space downtown Geneva, and it's since grown. He has how many employees now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around 5, 6, 7. I don't even know. And he has been able to support people in I think one of the proudest moments of being an entrepreneur is being able to provide an opportunity for families to support their families.
Yeah.
And so he's been able to do that.
Yeah.
He's got a few women that work for him. Some of them have kids, some of them don't.
Yeah.
And then some great guys, and he just has a great team. Really great, positive, fun culture. He's a jokester. He's like a prankster, a jokester. So it's just a fun, like laid back environment.
Yeah.
He's really passionate about this region.
Yeah.
And serving the community.
Yeah.
And so obviously the name of his business is Community Proud. So they're able to do like fundraising web stores for people and really support different teams or businesses. They do window vinyl and so
the I Heart FLX shirts that you see everywhere.
Yeah. So it's been a journey watching him go through the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows.
Yes.
For me, I'm lucky to have kind of witnessed it before.
Yeah, I was going to say, did that and kind of witnessing all of that, did that kind of at least prepare you for some uncertainty and, just the emotional ride that you're on? I mean, it's not just like numbers up and down, like you're just all over the place.
Yes.
So, I mean, did that help a little bit?
Definitely. I knew it was going to be a wild ride. I also knew there were things that he learned the hard way that I kind of like got to learn from without having to make those mistakes.
Right.
Even just like slow growth. You know, like starting with my core, whatever is most important, and then we'll add things on or add employees on slowly.
Yes.
Not biting off more than I can chew. Those types of things. For me, I still struggle with the feeling comfortable living in owing money.
Yes.
Living in debt, as they say. We renovated that space. It's beautiful now. That hydrofacial machine is not cheap.
Right.
I didn't have like a ton of money to just pay it off. So, for me, that's something that's been really difficult for me to navigate through. And he's like, Jess, you got to get comfortable with it.
I know.
That's the way the business is, and the money fluctuates.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. And so for my business, sometimes we place orders. They're large orders.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of, I've had to learn.
That's one of the biggest challenges for me as well. And I forget which podcast I talked about it on, I think with Amanda Rago from Murphy's Market.
Yes.
And I was telling her too, because the store was a manageable size where I would use the credit card or debit card and pay with sales for the product line. And then what came in was just payroll, profit, all that.
Yes.
Well, we've just experienced such growth. And people think, growth means great. The money's rolling in.
Yeah.
But it also means you have so many more needs to fulfill. Yeah. And if you don't have stuff, people move on. And so, the orders get bigger. I started getting into terms, and same thing where this was the first time we put, tens of thousands of dollars on terms, and they're like in December 1st. I'm like, fuck, we better have a good Christmas season because, that's coming due, And it's not like me because I don't carry personal credit card debt. Like you know what I mean? I'm like, if I don't have the money, I'm not getting it.
That's how same.
But, I found that was slowing our growth. And so it's kind of this like tightrope that you have to walk because like you say, slow growth is important.
Yes.
Luckily we had some entrepreneurs in my family as well. And in the restaurant business. And I mean, things were booming. They were going great, and they ended up overextending a little bit. And luckily the core business survived, but the second one didn't. And so I always have that little nugget in the back of my mind, like, just because things are going well doesn't mean it always will. Like, you still need to pace, and it's hard because you want to fill the requests of everyone who comes in the door. And so it's a struggle, but that's definitely something that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs must struggle with, because it's not a good feeling.
It's a juggle. But I'm glad that I had him. Kind of, he knows what it's like. And he's like, this is what I've been dealing with, Jess.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
He's probably relieved to have a buddy to like talk to about it.
Like, wow. I mean, I've known it, but to experience it personally is totally different.
Yeah.
So, it's been beneficial definitely to have kind of his previous experiences to learn from.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's incredible having an entrepreneur as a husband, but I'm sure it comes with, or I know it comes with challenges. I mean, we're just in a crazy world. I mean, we're supposed to be badass career women, amazing wives, have great friendships, great social life, look amazing, get 8 hours of sleep, like all the things. And it's like,
healthy workout, all the
things. And it's like, I mean, I have just kind of come to the realization that like 2 things in my life can thrive at one time. But so what has it been like for you guys? I mean, is there just a lot of communication on, like, what's it been like?
I wish I could say that we have like a great system of communication. Somehow we just managed to do it. We kind of fly by the seat of our pants, but I feel like we've been living this life of busy, busy, busy. We've always had a million things going.
Yeah.
What's different now is that I'm not available like I was. I mean, when I'm in a service, I'm not touching my phone. And if I'm back to back, sometimes I don't look at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope.
Is everyone alive? Is everybody okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's been, I think that has been the adjustment. I'm not able to make dinner every night.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think that's where I personally struggled this past year.
Yeah.
How do I balance being like a great mom, a great wife, and keeping my business not just alive, but thriving. Yeah. And someone I spoke with just last week, she said, oh yeah, she's like about 20 years older than me. And she said, you can't be 100% the best mom and 100% the best business owner. It's impossible. So you just need to like give yourself grace. And so that has been my motto this year, give yourself grace.
Yeah.
And so Chad and I are kind of like ships passing in the night a lot of times.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way we make it work.
Yeah.
And his mom is so helpful. She helps pick the boys up from school, and that stuff is huge. And greatly appreciated. Otherwise, I don't know how we would do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I always think that because we don't have children. I mean, and I can't imagine another thing, and like I say, I think it's so crazy. And unfortunately, I feel like as the mom, the stress and the pressure and the guilt just must be more
100%.
than, because it's like, but you're the mom, like and I mean, society's changed. Nobody expects the woman to be home, cooking dinner and having it ready when the husband gets home. But yet at the same time, it's like, oh, you weren't at pickup today. You know what I mean? There's still that like sneering a little bit. And so it's got to be tough to just deal with that. But I think definitely giving yourself some grace has to be in there somehow.
Yeah, I've learned to, for sure. I try to get prepared. I try to food prep and things like that. I'm like, okay, this is going to get us through until Wednesday. But they're teenage boys, so it doesn't get us through to Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, last night I'm like, what are we doing for dinner? It was like 7:00. I still had to drop a product off to somebody and get back to home. And I'm like, it's going to be so late by the time. Like, just feed me anything.
Yep.
You want. Can you have anything there?
I know. Jenna was laughing at me today because last night I had to I had to phone it in. I'm like, I got to do takeout. I try not to do it as much as I can, but sometimes like, you know what? We're doing it.
There are times.
But so this morning I meal prepped and all I had was Brussels sprouts and sausage. So she came back and she's like, what are you eating? I just had a piece of sausage. I'm like, listen, gosh. I'm getting my protein.
Yes. This is my life. Okay.
Okay. And it is. I mean, we're in our chaotic season right now. And
yes.
And, you know, I was saying to you off camera, I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm so burned out. But then, you know, you have those moments where it's just like, I'm so fulfilled right now. Like, this is the best kind of stress. This is the best. Yeah. I would choose this still over any of the other. And I mean, so what are some of the things that kind of get you through the crazy chaos?
So I wish I could say that I have found balance and I get up early and I work out and I eat an egg white omelet with whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm just getting by.
Yes.
However, I will say because of the nature of my business, I'm so grateful. I am able to get so present in every moment I have with each person.
Yeah.
And so what I do grounds me.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's my strength is I'm able to, whatever it is, blah, 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 all the things. I see that person, they come in and they are my world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I snatch them up and I get them all snuggly and I just do the thing and I'm so present.
Yeah.
And in that, I think for me, that's like what meditation is for a lot of people.
Right.
I know it's not because
but it's still cathartic and
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's so relaxing. I'm able to get in my Zen mode and just really feel at peace. You can't be all frazzled and dazzled when you have a surgical blade to somebody.
Right.
So
I know you always seem very calm. You're exuding great energy.
I just love it. And I mean, I'm a bubbly person, but when it comes to that, I'm just able to like really get present and grounded. And I think that's why I'm able to get through the chaos.
Yeah.
Because what I do is so calm and mellow.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have clients that come in and they talk the whole time.
Right.
And then I have some that don't.
Yeah.
It's actually in my questionnaire, my paperwork.
I know. I love that.
Because if I get a treatment, I don't want to suck.
I totally get it.
I like to get my cup filled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's different for other people.
Sure.
It might be girlfriend time for them or
right.
an event sesh.
Yep.
Or, I mean, the conversations that go on in that room.
Yeah.
That room is a vault.
Yep.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Gets done in that room with certain people. And so, I think that's how I get through. I manage through because I have the calm environment and this beautiful space that I'm so grateful that I was able to create.
Yeah.
And I have to just point out my incredible employees.
Yeah.
I could not do it without them.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
I mean, truly amazing people who have the same mission, the same mindset, the same values and intentions. And I'm just really grateful. I'm really lucky to have that because we balance each other. You know?
Yeah.
They're all over the place. I'm there, vice versa.
How did you find the staff?
So I worked at a medical spa, and the esthetician that took over my position when I left, I had been training her for 4 months.
Okay.
Her name is Danielle, and she had been an esthetician, but I was training her like my way of doing things. Sure. She sat in on treatments with me for 4 months straight, and I didn't know I was leaving. Yeah. And then obviously like the space came up, blah, blah, blah. I left. I said, okay, Danielle, you're up. And so she took over my position when I left, and she ended up competing for Miss New York, and she won. And she got to see the other side of like makeup artistry. Mm-hmm. Same experience I went through.
Same thing, yeah.
Same thing. And so she said, I think I'm going to leave where I'm at. Wow. Would you be okay if I came and worked for you? I want to learn more makeup. I want to really dive into this. And like, I thought, oh my gosh, could I do this? Could I take on an employee? Yeah. I did not anticipate this soon because this was only like a handful of months into my business opening. Right. I was planning on being kind of solo for a while. Yeah. You know, not worrying about payroll or anything. Yeah. But I thought she is exactly the person that I would want to work for me.
Yeah.
She cares.
Yeah.
And you can teach technique all day long, but character and someone who just cares and has the same intentions, that's not always easy to come by. So yeah, I wasn't going to pass that up. I'm like, come on, girl.
Come on in.
Do it. So.
Well, and I always heard people talk about, the pressure of, bringing someone else on. And it's like, oh yeah, because you're responsible for them. And I got it, I thought. But it really is a different thing because you're not just worrying, how am I going to sign their paycheck? It's like, they're taking a chance on me too.
Totally.
And so, it's that pressure and, and wanting to not just have the business grow for you, but you also want to create opportunities for them. And, those were all the things that I just didn't anticipate. And I have so much imposter syndrome that sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm the boss. Like, who's listening to me? Oh my gosh. And so, are you kind of like learning some of that stuff and those emotions on the fly? Were you prepared to be a boss?
No. No. It's not in my nature at all. I'm such a team player.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I still don't even really like to say I am the boss. But,
right.
Because I feel like there's just a respect there that,
sure.
I respect her, she respects me and my other staff too. But it's funny you mentioned that because today I was emotional. I got emotional today. So Danielle we do this thing, Marco Polo. Do you have Marco Polo?
No.
It's like an app. It's like you send video messages.
Oh, okay.
I'll speak for myself. I always look horrible. I'm like in my robe, no makeup. I'm brushing my teeth or making my coffee or whatever. And that's like how we keep up with each other. It's
okay.
Texting. Phone calls, whatever. Anyway, she just got back from California last night. She was doing makeup there for an awards show. And she just got back. She had to work today. And we just went live on a billboard on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
And when I met her, there were so many things that she said that were like these dreams and goals for her. She wanted to like grow as an esthetician, as a makeup artist. She always dreamt of being on a billboard and all of these things. She wanted to travel and do makeup. And she was just doing this Marco Polo and she was just talking. She's like, yeah, I just had this like full circle moment. And, I was so busy. I knew the billboard went up, but I was so busy doing makeup all day that I didn't like it didn't click. And I'm watching it and my eyes just filled up with tears. And I'm like, this is why I named my business Empower. Like, I'm not saying I did all of this for her. I'm just saying, like, this business was able to provide her a space for her dreams to come true.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So
yeah.
You do feel that pressure.
Yeah.
You're rooting for them. Like, I want her to do far more bigger and better things than I've ever done.
Yeah.
Anyone who comes to work for me,
Yeah.
It's what I stand for.
Yeah.
But I was like, bawling mess.
Yeah.
I sent her a message back and I'm like, girl, you just made me a just pile of whatever. I'm it's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's what life is all about.
It is.
It's empowering one another and seeing people reach for their goals and hit them.
Yeah.
And so if I was able to kind of provide the opportunity for her to do that, like,
yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Well, and I think it's so nice too that she had that moment to actually stop and appreciate it, because I feel like so many of us, when we're in this, grind all the time, you almost like miss those moments. Yeah. And it's funny, I actually had a moment like that at our holiday launch this year. I do a journal every morning, and part of it is gratitude, but part of it is intentions. And, some of it kind of incorporates like the law of attraction and just like putting different things out there. And so leading up to the launch, I had said to Jenna, I was like, we've always had like a couple people waiting at the door. I'm like, but I want a line. Like, I would just love a line at the door. So for 30 days, I wrote down, I'm like, we're going to have a line at the door. So we were like getting ready, and I had kind of like tempered my expectations for the day too. Cause I'm like, I just don't know, like the economy, like maybe I don't know, And so we're setting up and I'm like, come on, Jenna, let's get our picture. She's like, dude, you've got your line. I was like, shut up. I'm just like, really? And we looked out and, we have the double storefront and I couldn't see the end of it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, and it was like snowing. It was just like such a movie moment. I'm like, shut the front door. It was just like, it was so nice. And she went out and got the footage. And I mean,
I cried, by the way, when I saw it.
But I think I put too much of a line into the universe because there was a 45-minute line to check out. It was so busy.
Oh, for the love.
But it was like the best problem. And our people were so nice. My mom was going down the line giving people chocolates for leftover from Halloween. I know. So it was just, it was one of those moments. I literally just went in the back and I was like welling up with tears because it was like, I was like, oh my God, I know. And and so many times I don't stop and celebrate anything like that. And it was just like, I ended up putting together a reel too, because I'm like, I want to remember this. Like, I want to remember this moment of like, we did this. We worked really hard. And it's been a tough year. And, personally and professionally, just all of it is challenging. Life is hard for everybody. And it was just such a special moment. And I feel like that's just what fills the tank to get you through. It's like, I'll be riding on that feeling for a while.
Get you through the Christmas season.
I know.
Okay, Christmas chaos. I know. I saw that and I just cried for you as a woman in business or anyone in business. It's amazing to see the support of a community come together.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how you feed your family. This is how you pay for your bill, your bills of your living. And not only your family, but the lives of the people that work for you.
Yeah.
So the community coming out and showing support. And I was going to try to be here that day and it fell through and I wasn't able to come this morning. That morning I had to go in a different direction.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Amazing.
I know.
You deserve it. You worked so hard. I know you did.
Thank you so much. Well, and it's the other piece of that. And the other reason why, I make the content and show that stuff is it's not so much like, look at me, look at this, look what I did.
No.
I put it out for the staff, but there is a lot of feeling of like, yeah, but that stuff happens elsewhere. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen in little small town New York. Like, okay, like a couple people come. I mean, I've had a lot of people in my life say things that I think they thought were compliments, but one woman was like, "Oh, my daughter should work for you. She'll know everyone who comes in the door." And it's like, okay, just things like that. And so it's like,
oh goodness.
I started to question myself and saying like, am I shooting myself in the foot by trying to do this here? Mm-hmm. Am I making this harder by doing this here but my family's here. And so that was important to me to do it here. And so to see some of the goals happen right here that I didn't think were possible.
Yeah.
I want other people to see that too, and think like, okay, maybe, it is possible for me. Maybe I can do that too. Maybe my dream, I don't have to wait till I can afford to move to California or New York or, go south or whatever. Yeah. And so I just think it's really important. And I think it's so nice for you too. Because again, this is a luxury spa. I mean, this is not like your corner beauty parlor, I mean, you've created this amazing environment. And so, I mean, do you kind of feel the same way of like, you're hoping to either inspire other people or kind of give other people permission to chase their dreams here?
It's what I stand for. It's what I live for. It's what I preach into people,
Yeah.
I'm like your number one hype girl. 100%. It's why I named my business Empower.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's going to be either way. I mean, it's scary working a job that you don't love.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not saying business ownership is for everybody, but whatever it looks like for you, whatever it is that, you need to be empowered to follow through with, like, I'm here for you. You go, girl.
Let's do it.
Or guy.
Yeah.
I have guys too. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's what I stand for. It's why I name my business Empower.
Yeah.
And I think that practicing self-care is so important. And when you do that, it does trickle into your life.
Yeah.
And so that was another piece of the Empower name. People making that time for themselves is so important.
Yeah.
So, but giving people hope,
Yeah.
that video was inspiring to me. So I know if it was inspiring to me, it was inspiring to a lot of other people, because I know our businesses are totally different. But yeah, small town, small business.
Yeah.
You know,
and showing what's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, and it's a small, you know, in my mind, the sick way that my mind works, I'm like, okay, that's done. What's next? You know, it's like, it's like a sick thing, but
you got present in the moment.
I know.
You absorbed
I
it.
did.
You
I was proud, because like I say, I don't always do that. But well, and one of the things when you were talking about that is I heard something one time where it's like, you don't get to opt out of the hard.
Yeah.
Like, life's going to be hard no matter what. Like, it's really hard to work a job that you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
It's also very hard to work for yourself.
Yeah.
It's really hard to work out.
Yes.
It's really hard to be fat.
Yes.
I've done it. It didn't work for me. It was really hard. And to not love yourself and all these things. And so it's like, whichever path you choose, I feel like it's going to come with challenges. So it's really just about, you know, what do you want your life to look like? You know, we get one. We get to do this one time. And, you know, I'm just very motivated by, I just want to be proud. You know, I hate to say I don't want to live with regrets, because I just don't think that's reasonable. But, you know, I do. I want to live a life that I'm proud of. You know, I'm unable to have children. And so that's given me a lot of time too, to kind of reflect on, you know, other ways of impacting people and connecting with people and, you know, shaping different things around me. And so it's been a really, you know, I don't like the phrase everything happens for a reason, but, you know, I do think that it's given me a really great opportunity to look at things from a different perspective. Yeah. You know, when things don't go as planned, you kind of, rather than the poor me, it's like, you know, how can I flip this? And so,
well, you're leaving an imprint on the lives of so many other people, and maybe you're pouring into so many other people because of that, because you weren't able to be a mom.
Yeah.
So now you're a mom to your amazing staff. I know you are.
I'm everybody's mother at work. Yeah.
And you have an amazing mom.
I do.
You are leaving an imprint on your community.
I hope so.
It's opening that up it's opening your world up to be able to leave that imprint and make an impact on so many lives.
I hope so.
Because as a mom, it is hard. It's hard to juggle all of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What do you hope that your kids are seeing in you and Chad during all of this?
That's a good question. I hope they see work ethic, obviously. But I hope that they see that it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
That it is what we're doing to serve our communities, to serve others.
Yeah.
To see the bigger picture. I hope they realize how important it is to make an impression and leave an impact on people.
Yeah.
Even if doesn't seem like a big deal, just coming in and getting a facial or getting a t-shirt or whatever it might be. I do think that there is a bigger picture sometimes, and I hope that they see that, and that they can learn things through us. You know, I don't know if either of them will be entrepreneurs or not, but that they can learn a lot through the things that we've had to learn the hard way. We've gone through a lot. We've gone through a lot of struggle. We've gone through a lot of financial struggle that people would never know about. And so we've had to persevere and push through. And, you know, I hope that our kids see that, and it just gives them hope to keep on kicking.
Yep.
You know, just keep going, just persevere and stay consistent and be kind.
Yeah.
Just be kind. You know, that's such an important thing to me, for my kids to like have kindness in their hearts.
Be nice people.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. The world needs more of that. Well, and you and Chad certainly, you know, exemplify all of that. I've admired both of you so much for many years. And
likewise.
So what are some of the goals that are on the books that you can share with us?
Okay, goals. Well, obviously, it's been a little crazy. I'm booked throughout the rest of the year for services personally. Danielle has some openings. I goals would be to fill up her schedule. She just came on full time. So
Oh, wow.
that's pretty exciting.
That is exciting.
And then we have Sydney,
Yeah.
who's going to be coming back from maternity leave. So she'll be coming back once Dawson is in daycare. And so once that happens, things are going to open up a little bit more for us to get more creative and be able to start posting content and things like that. Right now, my hands are tied. I mean, they are literally busy.
Yeah.
So there's only so much I've been able to do. So moving forward, I want to be able to like do more things that are creative and fun and reach out to people in different ways. I just haven't been able to do it.
Yeah.
Even just having someone answer the phones, I get out late and I have to return calls and I'm like, oh, it's like dinner time. I feel bad calling. So, or emails or whatever. So the growth, them coming on full time is going to allow the growth.
Yeah.
So there's a new service that I want to bring in very soon. I have a doctor, orthopedic surgeon, but he comes and he does aesthetic injections right now a few times a month. So I want to keep growing that side of the business.
Yeah.
And I really think that things will just continue to evolve. I'm not one to force anything.
Yeah.
Like I talked about slow growth before. This, Sydney and Danielle coming on working, payroll is going to go up. So I just have to be really conscious of spending. I mean, I've been able to really learn the past year and a half how to manage the ebbs and flows. And so, I just have to be really smart. And I want to bring some new services in and maybe a new product line. We'll see.
We'll see.
I definitely have some goals and dreams. I'd like to bring some more boutique items in, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Just skincare related. Or spa related.
Yeah.
Maybe some customized apparel or something.
Yeah.
Too, but
I know. It's so hard to, like you say, your hands are literally tied. I feel like one of the hardest parts is we live in kind of like an entrepreneur culture. So we're always seeing what everyone else is doing. And I mean, as they say, comparison is the thief of joy. Because I mean, I'll do the same thing. I'll have these moments where I'm like, man, we're killing it. The store looks great. We're getting content. And then I'll go on and I'll be like, yep, they're doing it better. Or they're doing it faster or anything. But, it's like that reminder to yourself of like, you're seeing the curated version, and to take things at the, let things grow organically and just be intentional. And, it just seems like, I mean, you've grown so fast that if you're just providing an exceptional service that people want, I mean, you're booked out through the end of the year, like it's just going to keep going. And I'm sure your team will grow and it's just so exciting. So I can't wait to see what you do next. And is there anything else that you want to leave the viewers with?
It was really important for me to create, obviously a positive culture, but I wanted to kind of mix, I guess what sets us apart from like a lot of other places is I really wanted to mix medical spa with luxury spa. So I think, just to paint the picture of like who we are, what we are, we really focus on a quality service.
Yeah.
I don't want people just coming in and like we just get them in, get them out. It's not quantity. It's not how many can we fit in. If you look at our menu, our services are long.
Yes.
A lot longer than a lot of other services if you would, look at other places. And it's not, it's really truly just so that we don't leave any stone unturned. Yeah. So you walk away knowing that you just got as much done as you possibly could. You took your personal, whatever it might be, into consideration, and we targeted that.
Yeah.
And so that is really most important to me, is that people know that they are coming in. If they give us a try, they're coming in. They're going to get a quality service.
Yeah.
I hope they leave floating. Most people walk out with the slippers on. They're like, how did I do that?
I know. It's.
I'm like, you're not the only one. I need a slipper cam.
Yeah. I know.
like, oh, whoops.
Oof. Well, I can attest to that. I mean, the experience there, because I've been to Aurora and I've been to Maribel. I've been to, a lot of the spas in our area, and they're wonderful. But it was a very different experience. And last year I got my staff all gift cards to your spa because it's just, I love, one of the things that I think is really important when you are chasing a dream or goals, and you have to be frugal at times, is to give yourself those experiences that make you feel like you're wealthy. And that is just one of those things where it's like, it's attainable, but my God, you feel like a celebrity walking in there, and you do such a fabulous job of, just like you say, it's just you and me, and it's like it feels all about you, like you're rolling out the carpet, and it's such a special experience, and I hope everyone gets to try it. And yeah, that's not a sales pitch, that is fact.
Thank you. That means so much. Mission accomplished.
Yes.
So important. That is so important for us to make sure that people walk away feeling that. I wanted to create a beautiful space so that people felt special. They're investing a lot of money. I get it.
Yeah.
It's investment, I call it.
Yeah.
And if it is an investment in yourself. And so I want people to feel special when they walk in, and to be treated like a queen or a king, and like royalty.
Yeah.
And they walk away floating.
Yeah.
That's
feeling empowered.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Jessica, thank you so much. I know that your time is very precious, so I don't want to keep you any longer, but I appreciate you coming on. It's so nice just to sit down and talk with you. You have such good energy. Every time I see you, it's just contagious. So,
likewise.
So thank you so much for being here. And guys, be sure to check out Empower Spa, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching and listening. Be sure to follow us on all the socials: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.